vacation every single day, 'cause I love my occupation.
Okay, good morning everybody. Happy Soul Sunday, or happy whatever day it is when you're watching this. I hope you're doing amazing. I hope you are doing some self-care, doing anything that is amazing for yourself. Even if it's not Soul Sunday, do something amazing for yourself, because that is how we can show up as our best selves on a daily basis, is by doing the internal work, doing the personal growth, doing the mindset transformation, and just doing the self-care. Do some journaling, do some reading, anything that is going to set your future self up for success. Today I am filming my travel bucket list, as you can see by the title, and I thought it would just be really fun to also learn a bit about each of the places so that I can share some information with you guys. I think that so many people see photos on Instagram and they're like, oh my gosh, I want to go to that place, but then they don't actually know anything about it. Totally putting myself in that category right now, because before doing this video and researching the places that I want to go to, I kind of just knew what I saw on social media. If you have been watching my channel for a little while now, you probably know that my goal in life is to be a digital nomad. It means that you literally just don't have a home base. You just travel from country to country, city to city, town to town, and you stay there for a slightly extended period of time, like longer than a vacation, but you're not living there long term, and it gives you time to actually experience what life is like in that part of the world. And I just think it is so cool. I so far in my life have not done a ton of travel, which I think is why I am so just like fascinated by different areas, and especially after researching for this video, I'm just like so eager. I am literally chomping at the bit to get out, travel, see the world. Like, even within Canada, which is where I live, like I have only been within BC. Like, I haven't even been one province over. I mean, our provinces are massive. Like, if you don't live in Canada, you might not know, like just in British Columbia, which is where I live, you can literally drive for 18 hours north and you will only be halfway up the province. Like, it is a massive, massive country. All of the provinces are huge. So like, I guess that's why I haven't seen a lot of Canada. But anyway, so I think my point is that I definitely want to do travel in the future, but for obvious reasons I cannot do that at the moment because of, you know, what's going on in the world. It is a difficult time, especially if you have a travel bug. Because that's not possible, I thought, you know what, let's just start the travel content right now with a bucket list. So I'm so excited to get into this video. Also, I do want to say a quick little disclaimer that this research that I did today was literally just done by myself, just a girl on Google searching things. So if I say something that is not totally correct, I am so sorry. I did the best I could. This whole video is coming from a very good intention, and yeah. So just if I say something wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. Just please do it in a nice way, because obviously I totally want to learn, and that's kind of the whole premise of this video. So yeah, that is all. Let's get into it. So these are in no particular order. The first one on my list is Byron Bay, which you guys have probably seen coming if you have watched my other videos, because I've talked about how I want to move to Australia so many times on my channel now. It is a small beach town in the far northeastern side of New South Wales, and it has a very like low-key, laid-back energy. And from what I know of the location, it also has a very like strong like hippie culture with like lots of art and music and like surfing and just kind of like that lifestyle. And I'm definitely a hippie at heart, so I just feel like I would absolutely love it there. And I also feel like it is important to mention the Aboriginal nation that is native to that area, which I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I really do not want to mess it up, but I will have it up on screen right now. And I just think it's so important to recognize the native individuals that have literally like brought up that land. I think it's really important to recognize that and appreciate that, and also respect it. The next location on my bucket list is Costa Rica, which I honestly am kind of thinking might be the first place I go to once I can travel. They actually have a saying called Pura Vida, which literally translates to pure life, and I feel like that just really encompasses the energy that Costa Rica has. Like, it's very energetic energetic and lively. It is described as a vibrant blend of indigenous heritage and Spanish colonial influence with a little bit of Jamaican and even Chinese culture tied in as well. And similar to Byron Bay, it also has that like laid back, friendly energy, which is obviously very welcoming. And it also has loads of biodiversity. It says that it is home to 615 species of animals per 10,000 square miles. And that's not even talking about the plants. Like, there is so much life there, and that is so cool. And again, it's super beautiful. There's lots of jungle, there's lots of beautiful beaches. Like, I could totally see myself living here for like, you know, an extended period of time. So this one will come as no shocker because I'm sure it is on like everyone's bucket list right now, because we've all seen Hannah Maloche, Lexi Hidalgo, and Meredith. I don't know her last name, but Lexi, Hannah, and Meredith, they're all living in Hawaii right now. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't jealous, because I totally am. I have been to like Hilo area and it was absolutely beautiful. Definitely would love to go back to that area as well. But yeah, I'd love to explore more of the islands, and Oahu seems kind of just like the place to be right now. So I think I would really enjoy my time there. And again, I could totally see myself living there for an extended amount of time. This is why I need to be a digital nomad, because I don't think I could ever just like commit to one place. Like, that just sounds limiting. North Shore Oahu is particularly the area that I want to go to, and it has loads of like surf culture. I would love to learn how to surf when I'm in Oahu or in Costa Rica, either one. From what I was able to find online, Hawaiian culture kind of originated from Polynesian roots, but then due to the isolation, because obviously they're on an island, they were able to like really break away from that and kind of form their own culture. That is kind of how Hawaiian culture came to be. And I'm gonna read off my notes right here because I don't want to mess this up. Hawaiian culture focuses on two gods, Papa and Wakia, which are the mother and father of the Hawaiian Islands, and their first stillborn child was said to form the deep roots of Hawaii, and their second child, Haleo, is the god from which all Hawaiians originate, which I think is just a really cool story. That is something that I've also found out, is like Hawaii has so many like ancient stories and legends, and it's so fascinating to me. The next place on my list is Bali, Indonesia. This is definitely another location that was inspired by social media, because oh my gosh, the photos of Bali on like Instagram and Pinterest, like the vlogs that I've watched from different YouTubers that have like stayed in Bali, specifically Megan Grubb. She actually got engaged in Bali, and the Airbnbs that they were staying in were so cool, and she got to like show all the different kind of like tourist attractions. Obviously when I travel, I don't want to just stick to the tourist attractions. I want to really like experience the full environment. It's also a really great place for hiking because it's kind of like a mountainous jungle with loads of beautiful beaches as well. Bali is known for its kopi luwak coffee, which is a very interesting thing. Don't know if I would totally be down to try it. I totally respect that culture. I totally, you know, to each their own. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Bali is also home to 3 different volcanoes, Mount Batur, Mount Batu Karu, and Mount Agung. My pronunciation of foreign words needs work. I've actually decided that I really want to learn a couple languages, definitely Spanish, because Costa Rica and just a lot of places in South America overall are Spanish speaking, so I feel like that is just kind of like an essential thing to know. But then I also think it would be really cool to learn some sort of language from kind of like the northern half of the world, so something like Icelandic or Swedish, which I will actually explain more about why I'm interested in Swedish later on in the video. So the next place is Joshua Tree, California. This place is so interesting, and I also learned that the Joshua trees, like the reason why this place has its name, isn't an actual tree. It's actually called a yucca genus plant. So there's that. There's a little tidbit of information for you. It is absolutely beautiful. I feel like it is such a unique place, and I am like dying to take photos there. I know that that sounds dumb, but you have to remember I'm a content creator, and the aesthetic of this place is just like next level. Next on my list is Fiji, and it is another popular one on social media, but I literally just cannot resist because it is so beautiful. There's like loads of jungle, natural forests, there's beautiful beaches, clear blue waters. Fiji is actually made up of 333 islands, but 223 of those islands are actually just uninhabited, which I'm curious as to why. That will be something that I look into further. And the country is also home to over 1,500 species of sea life and has a very unique range of biodiversity, and also a lot of species that can actually only be found in Fiji, which is again just another great reason to visit the place. So yeah. Now on the polar opposite of the spectrum, quite literally, I really would love to go to Iceland. I have been watching Sorella Moore for a couple years now. She is like by far the biggest inspiration on social media for me, and I've seen a lot of Iceland through her videos, through her Instagram content, and it just seems like such a magical place, which is actually very interesting because Iceland has a lot of ancient stories and legends that feature creatures like elves and trolls and other mystical creatures, so it really just like fits the energy of that location. Iceland was actually the last place on Earth to be inhabited by humans. But also, like, the history goes back ages. As I was saying, there's so many ancient stories and legends of Iceland, and that I would totally love to learn more about. There's so many beautiful glaciers and blue lagoons and loads of volcanoes. There's actually 8 new volcanoes in Iceland literally popping up as we speak, as you're watching this, which is so cool. I need a new vocabulary. Another colder climate, I really would love to go to Sweden because I'm actually part Swedish. I have a lot of family heritage in Sweden. I've been watching Jonah Jinton's YouTube videos, and oh my gosh, I had no idea it was so stunning there. I really want to go to like northern Sweden because it is actually the most like uninhabited area. People live up there, but it's also quite isolated, and you can really just live amongst nature, and I think that would be really cool, especially since Sweden is actually one of the few locations in the world where you have what is called the midnight sun and polar night, which is essentially like the light cycle of the area. I don't know if that's the proper term, but essentially during, say, like spring and summer, they have the 24-hour sunlight, which is so interesting. And then in the fall and winter, then it starts to get into the polar night, which is when it is dark 24 hours a day, which I think that part would be really difficult to live in. But I feel like just, I don't know, I want to experience that just like once in my life. The next place on the list is actually a total of 5 places in one, and that is the Utah National Parks, so Zion Arches, Bryce Canyon, Canyonlands, and the Capitol Reef. I think these places are so cool, so unique, and especially in Canada, I've literally never seen anything like it. And it's explained as petrified Jurassic sediments sculpted by wind, water, and time. I'd really love to do a road trip and visit each of these places in kind of like a consecutive order and just really get to do a lot of hiking, a lot of camping. I think that would be such a fun experience, especially to do with like a group of friends. So friends, if you want to travel with me, I'm looking for travel buddies. The next location on my bucket list is one that I'm not totally sure how to pronounce. I'm pretty sure it's Seychelles. Sorry if I just butchered that. I'm doing my best. But it is an island off the west coast of Africa. And if you look up pictures of Seychelles on Google, oh my gosh, it literally looks like a scene from Moana, which, for the record, I know Moana is based in Hawaii, but like, it looks like Moana in Seychelles. So anyway, as I said, it's an island off the east coast of Africa, and it's made up of 44 islands, and it is so beautiful. As I said, it literally looks like a scene from a movie. I also, throughout my research, did find out that this particular island is really struggling with species extinction and environmental issues. So definitely when I visit there, I will be doing loads of like volunteer work, which again, I think would also be really interesting to document because that'll be obviously a part of my journey. But I feel like it is kind of like a duty if you go there to help out the environment a bit, do your part, you know? And the next one is a very basic one. I really want to go to LA. I have actually been to LA briefly because I had a layover or like a stop in LA on my way to Hawaii and also back from Hawaii. But obviously I literally did not see any of LA, so I'd love to actually stay there. I do have some friends in LA, which is another reason why I want to go. And yeah, I do see myself living in LA for just like a little while, just because it's actually not entirely for social media purposes, although that is definitely a compelling reason to go, but it's mostly so that I can reintroduce dance into my life, because there are so many amazing drop-in based dance studios there, like Millennium, the Brace Face, Playground LA, like there's loads of them out there, and I think that that would be a really good way for me to reintroduce dance into my life, because some of you may know I have not really been dancing basically since the pandemic, or more so like just under a year ago was kind of when I stopped dancing. I just miss it so much, but yeah, I just feel like it's gonna be at some point a stop in my digital nomad journey. And the last one on my list for now, because obviously as I explore more of the world, I'm gonna find new places that I want to go to, and probably from this video, maybe you can actually comment down below some places that you want to travel and I can get some inspiration from you guys. But nonetheless, the last one on my list is Banff, Alberta. I'm finally mentioning a Canadian location. I know Canada has like loads of beautiful locations, but for some reason, I guess it's just because I live here, I don't feel as compelled to explore it more, which I feel like that is a bad thing, and it kind of like, I'll get there. And Banff is of course known for its beautiful forests, beautiful mountains, and Lake Louise, which I really want to see in person. I've seen it loads on Peter McKinnon's Instagram, and it looks like a beautiful place to photograph as well. It also has a quite prominent van life culture there, which obviously intrigues me because I definitely would love to do van life. I was kind of thinking Australia, but who knows, I could do van life in Banff as well. Those are all of the current places on my bucket list. Definitely leave some comments below of the places that you want to travel to, because then I can get some inspiration from you guys. We can get inspiration from each other. I also feel like this is a good time to ask for a like, a subscribe, a comment. All of these things really help with the algorithm and help my channel reach new people. My goal is to have my YouTube channel support all of this travel and be a space where I can document all of my digital nomad experiences. I feel like this video was a really good, almost like manifestation practice, because I feel like I've claimed it, like I'm gonna do these things now. Anyway, with all that being said, I really hope you were doing well. I hope you were staying safe and healthy and vibrant and aligned with your higher self. So yeah, that is all for today's video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!
Go on, blow up your ears.